Welcome back to everyone who's watching Mamarwa Gasabo TV. You're going to be with me, Princess Mugisha. Let's start with the news headline. The United States confident in the President Paul Kagame's commitment to Washington peace agreement goals. Rwanda taps the Chinese experts to boost genomic research. On the international scene, deadly quack rocks Afghanistan, leaving the iconic Blue Mosque surrounded by the rubber. Let's take a short break to be back into the news details. Let's start our news in Rwanda, where the United States has reaffirmed its confidence in President Paul Kagame's commitment to advancing peace and development in the Greater Rex region, as Washington continues to see a mediation efforts between Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo. In a post on X on Sunday, the U.S. Senior Advisor for Arab and African Affairs, Mossad Boulos, said he held an in-depth discussion with Rwandan Minister of Foreign Affairs, Olivier Nduhungirehe, focused on consolidating peace and prosperity across the region. Boulos said the talks focused on reviewing progress made under the Washington Peace Agreement, particularly the implementation of its concept of operation, and on advancing the Doha track, which comprises the U.S. efforts to secure a peaceful resolution between the Democratic Republic of Congo and FC M23 rebel coalition. The U.S. envoy stressed that lasting peace in the Greater Rex region hinges on the fully and timely implementation of the Washington Peace Agreement, adding that Washington remains confident in President Paul Kagame's commitment to achieving that goal. Boulos' statement came shortly after a post on his meeting with Democratic Republic of Congo President Felix Tshisekedi on the progress made under the Washington Peace Agreement and the parallel Doha track aimed at restoring sovereignty and reinforcing the regional stability. The renewed diplomatic engagement follows Boulos' visit to Rwanda in October, when he met President Paul Kagame for talks focused on the U.S.-mediated peace process and the regional security. According to Rwanda's president, the discussion at the time underscored ongoing efforts to advance peace in the Greater Rex region and Rwanda's continuous commitment to lasting peace and security. The Washington Accord, signed on June 27, 2025, was blocked by the United States to moderate relations between the Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo. The agreement aims to dismount FDL military composed of the remnants of the perpetrators of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi and the lead of lifting of Rwanda's defensive posture along its western border. However, progress has not been without challenges. Tension surfaced last month after the Democratic Republic of Congo declined at last minute not to sign the Regional Economic Integration Framework, a key pillar of the peace process designed to strengthen economic cooperation between Kigali and Kinshasa. Despite the setback, Rwanda has maintained its commitment to the peace accord and the board of the U.S.-led process. Turning to our next story, Rwanda is working to deepen partnership with the Chinese research institution to boost its genomic research and strengthen the country's capacity in precision of medicine. Genomics is a study of an organism's complete set of the DNA, including of its genes and their interaction with each other and the environment. The development was highlighted during a week-long visit to China, which ended on October 25th, where Dr. Claude Muvunyi, Director General of the Rwanda Biometrics Center, held discussions with executives and researchers from BG Genomics, BG Research, and BG College, all subsidiary of the world-leading BG Group. The meeting focused on the collaboration in genomics, joint research, capacity building, and technology transfer. Speaking to the New Times, Dr. Claude, Director General of the Rwanda Biometrics Center, said the move aligns with Rwanda's vision to build a sustainable healthcare system powered by artificial intelligence and bioinformatics. While touring BG laboratories, Muvunyi observed how genomic data is used to guide clinical decisions and improve public health planning. He also delivered a keynote addressing the 20th International Conference on Genomics, where he presented Rwanda's genomic sequence achieving the COVID-19 pandemic. The visit also included talks with Peking Teaching University of Chenise on the cervical cancer screening and research training for the Rwanda scientists. Now let's turn our focus to this story, where local leaders across Rwanda conveyed a retreat at Gako Military Academy on November 2nd, reaffirming their commitment to citizen-centered service delivery. The session underscored key priorities, ensuring public service are delivered with timeless quality and accountability. Readers approached to enhance institutional capacity, improve coordination among local level administration, and deepen engagement with communities to better identify and respond to their needs. The gathering was framed within the broader national decentralization agenda, which promotes empowerment of local government and strong oversight mechanism. Let's take a short break to be back into the international news.
Five Guy Trading Company tubafite ibikoresho by'akataraboneka byo mu rugo, mu mahoteli, za restaurant ndetse n'ibikenerwa n'abageni n'amacumbi. Ireme ryo hejuru, imiterere igezweho n'ibiciro byiza ibyo bituranga. Duhitemo uhindura isura y'aho utuye cyangwa se aho ukorera. Five Guy Trading Company dukora mu nyubako ya TCB iteganye na station SP ifatanye kandi n'inyubako ya Centenary House muri ground floor umuryango wa Z11A. Ku bindi bisobanuro waduhamagara kuri 0782 31 86 cyangwa se 0788 57 0200.
Let's take a look into the international news where powerful earthquakes has routed the northern Afghanistan, killing more than a dozen people, injuring hundreds, and damaging one of the country's most beautiful mosques. Sandra Tumukund proceeds.
Let's start with international news in Africa. At least 26 people have died and more than 25 others remain unaccounted for after a landslide in Kenya's western Rift Valley region. Heavy rains have battered the area for days, with Kenyan Red Cross saying that the most affected areas are still not accessible by road due to mudslide and flash flooding. 25 people with serious injuries were airlifted to a hospital in the nearby city of Eldoret for treatment, while others with minor injuries received care on site. Rescue efforts continued through Saturday despite ongoing heavy rain as disaster agencies searched through the debris of collapsed homes for missing people. As search and rescue efforts continue on Sunday, local officials said they were working urgent to provide humanitarian assistance and support families impacted. More than 1,000 homes have been destroyed by mudslide in the hill area of Chesangochi in Elgeyo Marakwet County. Kenya's Interior Minister Kipchumba Murkomen urged residents living near season rivers or in areas where the landslide occurred to move to safer locations. The country is in second rain season, also known as short rains, when it is usually experiences a few weeks of wet weather compared to the heavy, more prolonged period early in the year. Hundreds of people have been killed in recent years in landslide and flooding in Kenya. Turning to our next story, Donald Trump has played down the possibility of U.S. war with Venezuela, but suggested Nicolas Maduro's days as the country's president are numbered. His comment comes as the U.S. continues to launch strikes on alleged drug smuggling in the Caribbean. The Trump administration says the strikes are necessary to stem the flow of drugs into the U.S. At least 64 people have been killed by U.S. troops in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific since early September. Speaking from Mar-a-Lago, Florida, Trump said every single boat that you see that is shot down kills 25,000 on drugs and destroys families all over our country. Maduro has previously accused Washington of fabricating a new war, while Colombian President Gustavo Petro has said the strike on boats are being used by U.S. to dominate Latin America. Trump last appeared on the 60-minute program in 2020 when he walked out an interview with Leslie Stahl because he claimed the questions were busy. He did not agree to an interview with the show during the 2024 elections. Concluding our international news, a powerful earthquake has alerted northern Afghanistan, killing more than a dozen people and damaging one country's most beautiful, local authorities said. Families were jolted awake in the early hours of Monday when the 6.3 magnitude quake struck near Mazar-e-Sharif, one of the most populated cities in the north of the country, at a shallow depth of 28 kilometers. A massive search and rescue operation is underway, with a child seen pulled alive from a lab in the north of the country. In a video released by the Ministry of Defense on Monday morning, the girl was taken to the hospital in a critical condition. A spokesman for the 209 Alpha Army Corps told CNN. The site is one of Afghanistan's architectural treasures and a major point of pilgrimage, believed by some to be the resting place of Hazrat Ali, the fourth caliph of Islam and the son-in-law of Prophet Muhammad. Afghan-led Crescent Society put the early death toll at 19, with at least 320 people injured in the Samangan and Bak provinces. The National Authority for Disaster Preparedness said the quake struck at around 1 a.m. local time, impacting parts of the northeast and west, with the epicenter located in Samangan province. Saula Sandra Tumukundi, Mama Rwagasabo TV.
As we come to the end of the news edition today, let's go back with news headlines. United States confident in President Paul Kagame's commitment to Washington peace agreement deal. Rwanda taps Chinese experts to boost genomic research. On the international scene, the deadly earthquake rocks Afghanistan's living iconic borough mosque surrounded by the rubble. Thanks for having me. Stay tuned.